Let's dive into how to configure IP networks and subnets on the lab 4.327. So before we go any further, I would like you to go to my YouTube page and click subscribe. You have to give it the credit that we take a lot of time to create this video and to make sure that they are credible and up to your expectation. So we wouldn't mind a like, a subscription, or even a share. So let's get to the work and begin the subscription right away. So in the instructions are as follows. In this lab, you will explore and analyze IP subnets. So the in-text is that you select the hide notes icon in the toolbar to hide or display notes labeled as needed. So to complete the following task, you need to gather information on account 2 using ipconfig command. And this you'll do the same for the marketing 2 department, for the sales 2 department, and answer questions regarding the same from questions 1 to 9. Then on the second part of the question, the link was created between switch 1 and 2. This will allow connectivity between devices. So you'll try the following for marketing 2, then answer question 10 for sales 1, then and sales 2 and marketing, then do the ipconfig command. Then you remove the connection between the switches 1 and 2, connect the router to the switches as shown, then test the connectivity from account 2. So as you can see, this is quite somewhat there to be done. So let's dive right into it. So the instructions are the same. So the first step is to gather information on account 2 using the ipconfig command. So in this case, what we do is go right into account 2. So right into account 2, left click and click launch Windows. So once you come to launch Windows, come to the start button. For me, I type in terminal. Once you get your terminal, type in ipconfig, then press enter. So from that, I've been given the information concerning the IP address and the subnet. So let's look at the questions because we were told once we do that, we answer question 1 and 2. So the first question is, what is the IP address assigned to account 2? So the IP address assigned to account 2, so we look at the IPv4 address. We find it is 198.168.1.72. What is the subnet? 255.255.255.254. Then we minimize it, then go minimize this as well, then go to the network modeler so that we can access the marketing 2 department. We do the same, we left click and we right click, then go to the launch windows, then look for terminal. Once we get that, we write ipconfig. For the same, we look at the questions 3 and 4. What is the IP address assigned to marketing? We look at the IPv4 address is 192.168.1.42. Then what is the subnet mask assigned to marketing 2, which is 255.255.255.224. Yep. Then we minimize. Then gather information on cells 2. So we minimize here, then go to the network modeler, then go to cells 2, launch the Windows, then find the terminal, and type in ipconfig, then find that the IPv4 address in this case is, what is the IP address assigned to cells 2? It's 192.168.1.12. Then what is the subnet mask? That becomes 255.255.255.224. So now from where we have reached, if you see that I'm too fast, you can go to YouTube and subscribe. Remember to subscribe. And then in the
we
settings,
can get to the file. So I want you to take note of IFCFG-ENP2S0 because that is the file.
that plays speed so that you can be able to adjust accordingly. So the next question is, what are the computers from the same networks? So they actually not from the same network. Then what is this? Which answer is the CIDR notation for the subnet? Also, this is /27, and then this one is based on the subnet mask for how many host addresses are created in each. So this is 32. And then which is the reason to explain the ping for marketing? So that we have to do it. Okay, let's do the ping, because we have, once you have answered question 7 to 9 regarding the IP information, then we can go ahead, and a link was created between switch1, which with that we go question 8. A link was created between switch1 and 2. Will that allow connectivity to devices? Try the following. For marketing 2, ping the IP address for cells 2. So go to from the marketing network modular, then from marketing 2. So let's minimize this. From the marketing modular, we find our terminals. Still enter because we minimized our, yes, like this. So they want us to do the ping from the marketing too. So we are doing a ping for the IP address for cells 2. We're doing a ping the IP address for marketing 2, ping the IP address for cells 2. So we do ping, so we do ping 192. So what is the IP address for cells 2? So in this case, it's 192. Let's check. What's the IP address for cells 2? 192.168.1 to 12. So 192.168.1.12. So then ping. So what's the questions that followed? So we answer question 10. So what does question 10 say? So they're asking, so there's timeout, timeout, and timeout. So question 10 is asking, let's see what question that, which reason explain why the ping from marketing to sales to failed. So one of the switches is configured correctly. They are on different networks, improperly configured subnetworks. So the only reason could be they are on different networks. So let's go to the next step, which is from the sales 1, ping the address for sales 2 and marketing 2. So we go to the network modular, and now we go to the sales 1. Yeah, from the sales 1. Then we go to terminal. Then what do? We ping. We ping the IP address for sales 2. What is the IP address for sales 2 in this case? Is 192.168.1.12, right? Okay. We see pinging 32, but ping statistics, timeout, timeout. So 100% loss, as you can see, 100% loss. Then we ping for marketing 2. What is the IP address for marketing 2 is? So we start with ping, then you say 192.168.1.42. Then enter. What do we get? So then from there we can answer. We can gather information on sales 1 using the IP config and answer question 11. So question 11 says, let me calm down. It says, which reason explains why the ping from sales 1 to marketing 2 was successfully, which reasons explain why the ping from sales 1 to marketing, which results explain why the ping from sales 1 to marketing 2.192.1.8.1.4 was successfully. So sales 1 is configured to connect to the same network as marketing. That can be the reason. Sales 1 has correct subnet mask. The switches are properly configured in this direction. So is the answer. So as we can see, we have the connections. So let's go to the last question. So they say here, remove the switch, remove the connection between switch 1 and 2. So we go to the network modular. So those are the switches. Okay, so we see there's a connection between switch 1 and switch 2. So what we do is we remove this connection. So how do we remove it? Okay. Okay, you left click, then click remove. Then once you do that, what do we do? Connect router 1 to the switches as follows. So here is the, down here there's the routers. We have routers here. So how do we connect the routers? So the first routers is ENP 20 to switch 1. Let's minimize this. Okay, so socket. So let's see how to go about this. Okay, so here they're saying interface EPN20 to switch 1. So you come here, then pull to switch 1. Okay, click there, pull to switch 1, like that. Then so this is interface EP2S0 to switch 1. Yeah. So it is switch 1. So you to switch 1, then come here NP21 to here, then NP22 to switch 3 here. Good. Then test the connectivity. So this is so done. So we on account 2. Okay, I think we are done here. So I think we need to, let's finish this here. Then launch Windows for account 2 as they have said, and ping the address for cells 2. Come back to our terminals. Then we ping the address for cells 2. So what was the terminals for cells 2? It was, okay, it's not the terminals, but what was the IP address for cells 2? It was 192.168.168.1.12. So once you ping that, you can see there's some activity. Then we ping the address for marketing. So for marketing 2, it is 192.168.1.42. What do we see? We see there's some activity going on, and they somehow show that there is a connection. So both were successful, and that's that. So let's go through the questions just to make sure they were correct. So the first question was, what was the IP address for account 2? For the subnet, the IP address, we just have making sure that we have actually answered everything so that we may be able to score our lab. And yay, here we go. Why didn't we get it right? But the answer is just the same. What's the problem? The correct answer is the same. The correct answer is the same. So this should be a system error, but in fact we did well because you can see the answer is the same. And the answer is the same. There's no error that we did. Okay, that's how we go about it. And I want to remind you uh, to let's know the logic behind what we have just done. And our goal of configuring the IP address and subnets was to ensure that there's efficient communication between devices within and across networks. We also do this to ensure that we can segment large networks into smaller manageable units to improve performance and security. We do this so that we can assign unique identifier, that is IP address, to devices so that the data can be routed correctly. Then we do this to control traffic flow and reduce congestion by isolating broadcast domain. Then we do this to optimize IP address usage and support scalable network design. So in this case, what we were doing is structuring the network to be clear, secure, and scalable. It doesn't matter whether you're managing a small office or a global enterprise, configuring IP address and subnets is critical for all. So remember to subscribe, like, and click the subscribe button with the like button, and subscribe where you can. Follow, subscribe me, subscribe, comment, engage me on what next video will you want me to do. And thank you so much.